Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Sonoma.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we're taking a look at Escape Tales Low Memory.
Which is an escape room game, which you might have guessed. So this is going to be a little different video.
Yes.
Because we're not going to go through all the stuff that we usually do, and we're not going to try to spoil too much about this game.
Hopefully anything.
Yeah, but as always with these kind of games, if you don't want to know anything, then stop the video and play the game, and then you can watch the video afterwards. But we're not going to go into details about the story or the puzzles or everything like that. We're just going to talk like generally what we think about the story and puzzle and everything like that.
Yeah.
So this is the second game in the Escape Tales series from Board&Dice, also made by LockMe, which I made some of the puzzles, or most of the puzzles, or all of the puzzles for this game, which is a Polish site, kind of like a TripAdvisor site, but for escape rooms. So if you are going to Poland, we really recommend checking out that page. We have used it many times.
Really helpful.
I think also there are some other countries that are using it now, but it's biggest in Poland so far.
Yes.
But that enough of a commercial for LockMe. Let's talk about Escape Tales Low Memory.
Yeah, so this kind of has like 3 escape rooms in one game.
Yeah.
So they have 3 sessions in each of them is about 3 hours?
Yeah, the box says on the box 3 hours. Yeah, we didn't spend that. We're going to talk more about that soon. Let's just talk about the difference there between the first box and this. Because the first box at the Awakening was like a one playthrough. You could save it and go back. But what they have done here is, as you said, changed it like 3 stories, which is basically like 3 parts of a story where you are playing different characters. That is not a spoiler to say that. You are playing different characters in them and seeing different parts of the story. The first one had like a really great story, because these games are not made to be real time.
Yeah, this you're supposed to get involved and think and take time in exploring the game.
Yeah.
I think that is nice, that it's not timed and rushed.
Yeah, absolutely. This is more about the story, more about the exploration, more about just, as you said, just getting immersed in this story, and also for hopefully having fun puzzles, because puzzles is really important. Like, if this is the first escape room game we do see on our channel, we love escape rooms. We play a lot of escape rooms. We play almost all of the escape room board games. And The Awakening was kind of my favorite of all time when we played that.
That's cool.
And this one is different. So let's first quickly talk about the playtime, because a lot of people are like, oh, these are games you can only play once. And yes, it is. It wouldn't really make sense to play it again.
Yeah, you could.
You could,
because there's always stuff you miss. And I think that is neatly done, both in this game and in The Awakening. They are open that you can't do everything in the game. And I think you could play it twice or more times, but I wouldn't buy it for that.
No, it would be like if you maybe after many years you could play it again, because the story is not going to be as interesting. Even though you take more different choices, you're probably going to gamify it more the second time if you remember the story. But if you have a bad memory, you can play this maybe quicker.
We tried to play it twice with The Awakening, and we really... Yeah, because we seen most of the story and wow elements the first time around, we were more gamifying it the second time around. And if we played it a year later, I think that would be better. I
think I still wouldn't really find anything, but let's talk about this one, because that's the one we are reviewing, not The Awakening. But it makes sense to do some comparisons, but it's the same here. Doesn't really make sense to play it again, maybe after a year, maybe after 2 years. I don't think I wouldn't see myself doing it, but if you want to explore everything, if you are a completionist gamer, like you kind of are, you might want to play it to get the different endings, because there are quite a few endings. Not going to go into how many, not going to go into any of that. I can say that there are about 41 puzzles in the game. It's not really a spoiler, because that's in the app. You can look in the website that you use. You can look at all of them. There's 41, I think. I didn't get the chance to check exactly, but I think we had 15 puzzles that we didn't do.
Yeah.
So there are quite a few puzzles that we didn't get to do, but they wouldn't really change the game too much. Maybe a couple of times we would have changed it a bit. So then just go quickly through how long it took to play the game before we dig into what we think and how much fun we had.
Yes.
So it says it should take 3 hours 3 times. So every chapter should take 3 hours. Really depends on how fast you are doing the puzzles. and how long you're waiting before taking hints.
Yeah.
We didn't really in the two first parts. I think the first one we didn't need any hints. The second one we took like a couple of hints.
Yeah.
And the third one we needed some more. We're gonna go into that later. But we spent 1.5 hours on the first one, 2 hours and 50 minutes on the second one, and 3 hours on the third one.
Yeah.
Which was the hardest one, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a bit about the gameplay. Is it fun? Is it engaging? Is the story good? Like just in overview, basically, of course, because we cannot talk about anything in it.
I think the puzzles are really great. I think it's cool that you don't get to see, like you have to pick what puzzles you're going to go for. In essence, we played it 3 players.
Yeah.
And we had a great fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think both the story was interesting, but I think the puzzles in this game is what made it the most interesting for me.
Yeah, the puzzles are super good. Like with a couple of exceptions, we got to complete all of them by ourselves. And there was one that we had to take the solution for.
Yeah.
There was only one actually, because the other one we solved right before we wanted to take the solution. There was one we took the solution for, which was kind of frustrating because we're not going to spoil the puzzle, but there was something that didn't make sense for us. I can see the solution now, but you don't agree with it.
I wish that they didn't just give us the solution, but that they explained it as well.
Yeah.
I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, the app like that they should have done that.
Like that is not hard to do.
No, just add like if you can update it, do that, because there's a couple of places
I would appreciate it.
If you don't understand the puzzle and you need a solution, then it's frustrating to do not know how it got solved.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did understand the puzzle when we got the solution after a little bit of thought, but it's frustrating. That's in all of these kind of escape room games. It's really frustrating when you get a solution and like still no idea how this is solved. But here, almost all the puzzles are really solid.
Yeah.
And they're fun. They're different. I feel like there's a lot of different kind of puzzles.
Absolutely.
Some are just like logic puzzles that you need to like try out things. Some that you need to have a lot of information and put it all together in the right way. And some really unique puzzles, some color puzzles, number puzzles, letter puzzles.
Yeah.
A lot of variation done with just cards, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I think that the guys that make these puzzles are, doing a great job.
They are good at puzzles.
Yeah.
Which it should be when they are escape room people.
I think it's cool that these are one of the escape room games that don't like have time as an issue, but you still have like a timing mechanism in the game, so you can't like do everything because then you will get stressed. Yeah. And I really like that they have done that instead of the physical amount of time.
Yeah, the physical time. The physical time. This is basically more physical time than time is a resource basically that you spend when you want to explore and you have an action tokens basically.
Yes.
And I really enjoy that. I agree with you. It works really well. I think this wouldn't work as a stress game. But I don't. So I feel like it's an escape game, but it feels more kind of like a one of those like murder mystery games and those where you have the time to just sit down and think about the puzzles. That also means that the puzzles can be harder.
Yeah.
The puzzles can be harder and more hard. It's the same thing. I'm saying it again. It can be harder because there's no time pressure. Like in an actual escape room or in Lock, for example, you can have a puzzle that takes 15-20 minutes to solve, and here you can.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I do.
I feel like let's talk about the we're not going to go into gameplay differences, but basically the game also says that every chapter here is going to be different, and I feel like they managed to do that. I feel like all of the 3 different cases or the 3 different chapters feel pretty different and are unique enough.
Yes, I think so.
They are getting harder. I feel like the first one was simplest and it was harder, and the last one was hard and sometimes in a way that I didn't enjoy, but it might have just been our brains, which we usually talk about in these kind of escape room games.
I think so. We really flew really fast in especially the first game, and then when we got kind of stuck a couple of times in the third game, we were just like...
We got really stuck in there.
Yeah, we did.
We spent 45 minutes on one puzzle in the third one.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a long puzzle, but
and
we
we
did spend
took
45 minutes.
So many hints to get past it as well.
Yes.
But
yeah, we were kind of blind on that one. We probably would have solved it if we weren't blind. That's a tip. Don't be blind if you play escape rooms. Escape room games.
Okay, yeah.
It's easier then.
Yeah.
Because if you actually look at the information you have, it's simpler to solve the puzzles.
It is.
And we didn't do that, so it was harder to solve the puzzle.
Then it's harder.
It is.
Logically. Yeah.
So the gameplay here is solid. Like it's almost the same as in the first one. I think the gameplay here is super solid. More again, because you have that, you don't have the time. You can have more intricate, more interesting puzzles. So I think still these are some of my favorite puzzles in escape room games.
Yeah, and I feel like they really take in what worked in the first version, like Awakening, and like.
Made it even better.
Yeah,
with the puzzles.
I think so with the puzzles.
There wasn't really. I don't remember any puzzles that like wowed me. I was like, wow, this is a cool puzzle. That is of course harder in an escape room board game, but Unlock has done that sometimes. Where I look at it and it's like, oh, that is so cool, and I get that kind of thing when I get in an escape room which has a puzzle I haven't seen before and or is super interesting. There wasn't anything like that.
Yeah, a couple of times. I feel like.
Okay, yeah. We can talk. I don't remember it, so it didn't do that huge of an impact on me.
It's usually because I solved them and then I got like the
boom. Yeah. You solved it. You have to sit there and looking at it.
Yeah.
No, but I think the puzzles are really top notch. So if you enjoy solving puzzles, you will enjoy playing this game.
Yes.
So let's talk a bit about the story without talking about the story. What do you think about the story here?
I think the story was interesting enough, but I had high expectations based on our experiences with The Awakening.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like this lived up to those really high expectations that I had. But if this was, if I played this first, I wouldn't be disappointed at all.
No.
Because they're totally different stories.
Yes.
So you shouldn't like compare them to each other. And I'm not doing that. I was like that into it now than I was before.
Now I like the story better in Awakening, but I enjoyed it. The story is good enough here to make it so that you care.
Yes.
And make it so that it's not just puzzle after puzzle after puzzle.
Yeah.
I like that. But I agree that the story was better in Awakening. But I like also that they're trying different kind of genres.
Yes.
Because the first one, this is not spoiler basically, the first one was kind of occult. And this is kind of sci-fi. And now the new one is going to be like a high fantasy thing, I think, which I'm pretty sure.
That's cool that they're doing different stuff.
So I cannot wait for the next one because these are good games. These are the top tier of escape room games.
Yeah.
Is there anything we should add, or should we do like final thoughts? We have talked about the puzzles. We talked about kind of...
Yeah, we kind of tapped into that you can only play... we recommend only playing this once, but we still think it's a really high value for the money because it's like 9 hours of gameplay if you just
if you're slow.
And it's a great game. We think you should absolutely like... That you only can play it once is not a negative thing for me in this game.
No. But that's the same with all kind of escape room games. I don't think this is any... I don't know the price. We didn't check that out, but it's probably not more expensive like than the three unlock boxes like the ones we have in Europe with three of them in each. Probably not a lot of difference in that prices. And it's more hours than this. And it's different and it's like a different escape room, but it's very, very good.
Yeah, I agree.
So should we do final thoughts?
I think we should.
Do you want to begin?
You can start.
I can start. This is fantastic. This is one of the better escape room experiences. It is very different, as we say, because it is more story-driven and it is not that... I love playing Unlock and being like stressed out, feeling like I'm in an escape room. This is more of a... As you say, you have the time and resources, the physical time. You have that here, and it is fantastic. Really, I felt like I said everything I'm going to say. It's a good story. I think Awakening was better, but it's a good story. The puzzles are really, really good and logical and make sense with maybe one exception. With other people might do super quickly because brains works differently, and I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna give it a 9 because it is a super good escape room game that I am really happy that we finally got a chance to play, and it was amazing. So if you like escape room games like at all, buy this and buy Awakening if you haven't played that, because those are two of the best ones on the market.
Yeah, I think so too. This is like, there's enough escape room board games with like this basic theme and this basic story.
Yeah.
This really brings something fresh, and I think it's cool that they're doing these new things every time and bringing out puzzles after puzzles that are so solid and so different, and really also leaving room for mysteries and doubts and thoughts and your own theories, because we are getting very much information spoon-fed to us, like during movies these days. So I really appreciate my experience playing Escape Tales Low Memory, and I really want you to check it out. So I'm going to give it a 8.5. I really like this game.
That's awesome. That's the end of this review.
Yes.
That's the end of this review. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can also check out our Patreon page, which is in the description of this video. Not in my lap. It's in the description down below this video. That's the end. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.